Alright everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, I'm going to do a Tanto build today. So this will be the basic design that I'm going to do. It will be made from a weed slasher. So this is the weed slasher. But you can get these cheap ones off of eBay for about £8. You get enough to make either a short sword or a couple of knives. They're already hardened and tempered steel that will return back to true. Yeah, and they're really good to make a knife without a forge, because that's what most of my builds are. They are no forge knife builds. So this is going to be a bit of a sort of scrap build as well, because the scales for this are going to be made from an old knife I had. So these scales were originally from it's a stealth knife basically, but those are illegal in the UK now, so I had to take the blade off. I can't remember if I kept the blade, because if I kept the blade I might still be able to use that for something if it had a detectable handle. It's only if the whole thing is undetectable. So I cut the handle down the middle, because obviously this was one solid piece at one point. Cut it down and made two scales from it. So that is essentially what's going to be the handle. I was going to do a aluminium guard, but I've worked out that may not work. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is glue and rivet these on either side, and then fill any gaps with some super glue and plastic. Mix that together, fill the gaps, and that should create an alright finish. Yeah, we'll have to see how this comes out. So the first thing I'm going to do, cut out this basic design and then mark it onto the metal. So that is the design on the metal, and then obviously the scales will go on somewhere like that. And with this metal, as long as you keep it cool while you're cutting it out, it does keep its sort of finish quite well. You know, the temper and hardening. It does keep well afterwards. I'm just going to file in the little sharpening choil so that I know where it is if this slightly changes shape, and also the paper will be coming off soon, so that'll just give me an idea where it is. But there is the basic shape so far, and I think that'll be quite nice. So I think I'm going to take the paint off now, which I'm just going to sand off. I'm going to attempt to drill this now, see how it goes. If not, well, it'll make it slightly difficult, but we'll work something out. So if you wonder what drill bit I was using there, I don't know if I've got another one in here, but it's a tungsten carbide tipped drill bit. Yeah, it's about the only thing you can drill hardened steels with. Right, I've managed to drill the holes in this. Now, it depends, you may be able to use normal drill bits for this if you go slow. You know, put some oil on or whatever, coolant on. I use those tungsten tips because they just, you know, it's just the easiest, best thing you can do if you've got those. So these holes will now enable me to clamp this to my jig for doing the bevels. I can bolt this to this now, and then this is my bevel jig. Right, so that's the basic shape of the blade done. How well you'll be able to see these bevels in this kind of light, but I'm happy with how that's turned out. good enough for what I'm doing. So now I'm going to put the handles on. So I think what I'll do is basically glue one side on so it's in the right place, drill the holes, glue the other side on, drill back through. I'm going to pin this rivet on now. So what I've had to do here is, normally I'll just use a standard nail, but I can't find any nails, so I've had to put a cut off nail in a vise, pin the top over as well as I can, and then put that in. It should still work. So that end is in, that washes in. I'm just going to pin it over. Right, so that's the handle on, looking alright, blade's covered up, always cover up the blade when you're doing these kind of things once the blade's got a bit of an edge on it. Now I just need to grind these edges so that they're touching, you know, where the plastic handle is, so they're level. Fill the bits in between, which I will just mix some. I'm going to get some of this, probably something like this, some sort of black dust. I've got some Kydex over there I could probably sand into black dust. Mix that with super glue and press that in, and that'll do, I think. Right, so I've got the basic shape done. I'm now going to give it a bit of a sand. I've sanded the back and the front smooth. I'm going to try and tidy up this blade now, but it often is quite difficult to do. But I'll see what I can, see how I can get it coming out. One thing I didn't show was where I sanded this whatever this material is. It had gone a weird grey colour where I sanded it. So I got some black leather dye and I just covered the whole handle in, and it seems to have brought it back to life. And then I waxed it. So I'm happy with that. That's done. So I'm going to make a sheath now. So I was going to make a leather sheath, but then I thought, actually, I've got some Kydex that I'll probably never use because it's a weird colour. And I think it would look quite nice. So I'm going to make a Kydex sheath. So this sheath will go around the blade and then have a bit around here. It won't go up to the whole handle. And it will probably need a clasp made for a belt buckle. Yeah, so with Kydex you just heat it up with a heat gun or in an oven type thing, and you put it in a sort of you clamp it in a sort of soft press. So a bit like leather, you're going to need a bit extra around the edge for, well, leather it will be stitching. With this it's going to be rivets. I'm going to put standard rivets in. You can buy sort of eyelets that are specifically for this, but I don't have any of those. But rivets look alright anyway, give it a more industrial look. Right, that's the basic shape. You can see how the knife will fit in. Now I need to drill these holes to put the rivets in, and then I may heat up this end, put it back in the clamp, and have this end exposed, so I can just heat up this area just to tidy it up a little bit. Right, I was just showing you the rivets, but I forgot to press record. So I'm just going to use a pop rivet, pop riveter. I've drilled the holes. I've picked the side that I think looks the best because one side will look better than another. Just hammer that out, or you can chop it off. So that's what that side looked like, and the other side I'll just peen those over. Right, there you go then, one Tanto Kydex sheath. Quite happy with that. It came out the sort of shape I wanted. If you look at the original design, it's very similar. Yeah, for what it's made of, I think that came out alright. And it's, you know, it does look like the sort of original thing. It's got the nice shape to it. It's got the handle. Yeah, and the Kydex sheath works fine. That won't come out of there. Yeah, really happy with that, to be honest. So what I'll do now, I'll give it a little bit of a clean up, because it needs a little bit of cleaning. See if I can polish the blade a bit more, and then I will possibly do a little bit of cutting with it, and then you will definitely see some HD pictures. So carry on watching. This isn't the end of the video yet, but there is the actual knife and sheath done. So you know how to make it. Now I'll just show you some high quality pictures. Alright, thank you for watching. Don't forget to watch the rest of the video.